Hi, good morning YouTube. It's Monday morning around 10 a.m. where I am right now. Yeah, I'm actually late with this video. This was supposed to have gone up by Sunday, as in yesterday, but my appliances have not been cooperating with me. I tried using the YouTube webcam feature to upload this, but then it kept saying it was processing the video, and now when I go back, it says that it's not available. I have no idea what's up with that. Anyway, so I decided I would shoot this on my phone, but then it turns out that my phone was out of charge and it's charging at the moment, and I didn't have, I couldn't set it up with the proper angle, so I'm basically holding on to it right now. So it's probably going to be a little shaky, but yeah, you make do with what you have. So yes, this is going to be the first video in the Pagan YouTube challenge that you have ongoing right now. I think there's only been 1 week so far. I guess the second week starting. So I'm a little late with this video, like I said. So the idea is that every week, for every week on every for all the weeks of 2016, you are going to be given a question that's pagan themed, that relates to your spiritual path and practices and belief systems, and you upload a short video on this. I'm not sure if there is a time limit on the videos, because the ones I have seen vary widely, but it is a very good idea to document yourself, your path, and explore yourself further. And it also gives you free topics to talk about, so that you don't run out of topics to make videos on. So anyway, the first question for week 1 was, how did you find your pagan path? How did you find your spiritual path? It's interesting that this question comes up now, because I've been having like this huge bout of nostalgia for the past couple of months. So I went back home to my folks' back in December, about 2-3 weeks back, and I had this insane urge to dig up all my old journals and books of shadows that I've had, notes and all of that, and I did manage to do it, and it did bring me a whole lot closer to where I was emotionally during the time when I set out on this path. So it's interesting, because the theme of going back to my roots, to going back to the reasons why I wanted to be what I am, which, or whatever it is that you want to phrase it as. And yeah, it's interesting that this question came up on YouTube now. Okay, how did I find my path? I think it would have been late 2002 or early 2003. I would have been around 12, almost 13 at that point of time. And if I had to point out the one defining moment or thing that led me to the path, I think I would have to say it would be the 96 movie The Craft. As in, I watched it several years later, obviously. But anyway, I think that would be the movie that sort of was was the watershed for me, because you know I know I want to be able to say that the philosophy that they talked about on The Craft, about the four elements and mana, which was basically nature and all of that, I want to be able to say that it was a philosophy that called out to me, that made me rethink my spiritual path or whatever. But really, I'd be I'd be lying if I told you that. I was 12 at the time, so back then for me the reasons for wanting to get into the craft or witchcraft was a little bit more immature. I wanted to get in because I wanted to do all the things that they could do in the movies. I wanted to have uh, powers. I wanted to be able to cast spells and all of that. So that yes, that would be the biggest thing that sort of led me on it. That sort of led me on to what you would recognize as a more modern Wiccan style of practice. Because if I had to be a smartass, I'd have to say that I was never a non-pagan. Because I'm a Hindu, and whichever way you choose to define the word pagan, a Hindu is probably going to be, Hinduism is going to be a pagan spiritual path, right? So I've never not been a pagan, but I still do my I still have like, when I'm actively doing a working, when I'm actively casting a spell or using magic or witchcraft, um, I do tend to do things in a very recognizably Western way. I'm struggling with how to accurately put this. I do think a certain way that most modern day Wiccans or eclectic witches would do. You cast the circle, call corners, use the kind of color correspondences that modern day Western witches would use. So that's the way I do things, and I was exposed to that idea, to that paradigm, by the movie The Craft, and that was like a big moment, a big defining moment for me. And there were other movies on similar lines. There was Practical Magic. There was this. Uh, I don't know how many of you have read them. There was a series of books by Kate Tynan back during the same period, 2002 to 2006, 7, that period. It was called Sweep in the States, I think, and it was called Wicca in the UK versions. In India, we used to get the UK version, so I always read the series as Wicca. So that was another series. If you read it, you would know that it is chock-a-block full of pagan witchcrafty sort of practices, and that was like another um, jumping board for me, if I had to call it that. So yeah, that's my somewhat frivolous story of how I found my path, and well, I know that I didn't come to it with the right, for the right reasons, but I've stayed on this path, and definitely my reasons for wanting to remain have changed. I was not the person I was. I'm not the person that I used to be when I was 12, but you grow, you mature, and your reasons, your uh, perspective on things change. But anyway, so that was my story, and I've been really enjoying looking at other people's stories as well, and I'm looking forward to the second question. I guess I should be seeing the videos pile up on my feed quite soon because it's Monday, and yeah, that's it. Thank you.